row seats. Get the table. See my new Frisbee?
What's fun?
Plays music.
Is that a real Frisbee?
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's got a Bluetooth app, so I can play music right into it. Now I don't have to carry a speaker with me. Makes it easy. Isn't that neat? You can throw it to somebody and it'll stop playing music, and then you turn it back on and they go, what the heck?
What music do you listen to?
Just have to throw on a little background music. Don't fall asleep now. Okay. And I know she said she was going to bring me a water. I think I might need one in about 10 minutes. Okay, we have a lot to do in a little bit of time. Are you guys all happy you're here at camp today?
Yeah.
I know you already had something else today, right? What was like a baseball player or something? Do you know where lacrosse was invented?
Canada.
Canada, yeah. I grew up in Toronto. Yeah, the Iroquois and Huron Indians. Very cool. You guys learned something about lacrosse today. Today you're going to learn a little bit more about Frisbee. My name's Gary Auerbach. You can call me Gary or the Frisbee guy or Mr. Frisbee. Got it? If you want to remember my last name, it sounds like Auerbach. That's how I remember. Nobody wears a watch anymore, right? I mean, why would you when it's on your phone, right? I still do. I'm kind of old school like that. So Auerbach is how I remember my last name. I won the World Championships a few years ago in what's called freestyle Frisbee. Cool, right? Thanks. You didn't have to do that. I just paused to see if it would have any effect. I won the World Championships a few years ago. Actually, it's been so long, I don't even remember it. No, I do remember. It was one of the happiest and most surprising days of my life. The two pictures that I have where I've seen myself the most happy is when I won the World Championships and the day that I got married. True story. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. My wife is Anyway, I hope you guys all win the World Championships, and I hope you guys are all as happy as I was on those 2 days. It's something in your life. And freestyle Frisbee is what we call it, but it's really doing anything you want with a Frisbee. It's like rhythmic gymnastics, martial arts, dancing, and juggling all combined together with Frisbees. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you in a little bit. I also play a Frisbee golf whenever I can. You guys play any Frisbee golf? Frisbee golf, yeah, you throw the Frisbee at a target. It is an awesome game. You can also make up targets like your little brother or sister, or one of the signs, or the goal, or anything you want. Yeah. Have you played it before?
No, I've
seen it? Very cool. And I played at 4 World Championships in Ultimate Frisbee. Do you guys know what Ultimate Frisbee is?
Yeah.
It's like Frisbee football, but there's no tackling. As soon as you catch the Frisbee, you become the quarterback. Nobody's allowed to tackle you or knock it out of your hands, and you have to pass it to somebody else on your team. And then after you pass it, you become the receiver. So the quarterback can throw and then receive and score in the end zone. You have to catch the Frisbee in the other team's end zone. Thanks, man. So I love Frisbee, if you haven't figured that out yet. But more than just playing the games, I really like teaching people, and I think I'm going to amaze, entertain, and inspire you guys all to become lifelong Frisbee players. So that's what I really like doing more than anything else. And I warmed up a little bit in here, so I know the distance of this field is really nice. I don't know how many yards it is. Any idea? 60 maybe?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's very cool. Here's what freestyle Frisbee looks like in case you've never seen it. Sometimes you'll do under the leg throws and behind the back throws. And sometimes you'll do an under the leg catch and a behind the back catch and a behind the head catch and a behind the knee catch. You got all that? Then you do a combination, like you can throw it under your leg and catch it behind your back, or throw it behind your back and catch it under your leg, or throw it under one leg and catch it under the other leg. Or throw it under one leg and spin around and catch it under your other leg. Or throw it under one side and catch it under the other side. Or throw it behind your back and catch it behind your other back. I'm just kidding, you only have one back. Yeah. You can roll the Frisbee from one hand across your arms to the other hand. If you miss it, I'll do it again. Or back in the other direction. Or across your back and over your shoulders. Or back in the other direction. Let me think of another good trick that I could show you guys. Oh yeah, there's one. I can give you a haircut. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. School hasn't started yet. It's summertime, right? You can flip the Frisbee on your leg and give it a little kick and catch it. You flip it under your leg and give it a kick and catch it behind your back. You can bounce a Frisbee on your hand or on your fingertip. Or on another Frisbee the hard way?
No.
Or the harder way? I haven't done it yet, wait. Or the hardest way? Thank you very much. Right, that's not the hardest way. That's the easiest way. It's also the cheesiest way. And you can flip it like a pancake or a tortilla, speaking of cheese, or you can do a double flip. You can turn over fast without letting it fall. You can spin a Frisbee on another Frisbee the hard way, or the easy way, or the impossible way. It never works, but I keep trying. Hey, it worked for a little bit. Once you learn tricks with one, then you can try tricks with two. You can clap them together like cymbals. You see why I was thrown out of band in high school? I clapped them together like Frisbees. You can throw them up high and catch two. You can take two Frisbees, throw them under your leg and catch them under your leg, and throw them behind your back and catch them behind your back. You can even take two and roll them across your arms in opposite directions. Did you miss it? I'll do it again. Did you miss it? I'll do it again. Did you miss it? Too bad. I'm just kidding. I can only do it 3 times in a row. I mean, I can only do it 4 times in a row. I mean, I can only do it 5 times in a row. I can only do it 6. I can only do it 7. You see where we're going? Sometimes I mess up. Once you learn tricks with 2, then you can try tricks with 3. Thank you. There's the world famous shuffling trick. You're allowed to record this and post it if you want. I'm just saying, yeah. There's a world famous shuffling trick. I'm just kidding. That's not cheesy. That's just lame, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for not telling me that my trick was lame, because that would make me feel bad. But I learned how to take 3 Frisbees and flip them in the air like this and juggle with Frisbees. That was a moment of slow motion, you know what I mean? Once you get them juggling in a pattern, then you can flip them under your leg like that, or behind your back like that, or roll them across your arms like that, back into the juggling pattern, or kick them. Oh, one more time. I messed up. Should I quit?
No.
I don't give up. When I mess up, I pick up.
What about 5? Yeah.
I'm working on 3, my friend. Let me try that again without talking this time, okay? Because I have to concentrate. Come on, Frisbee guy. I think you can do it.
You're talking.
I'm talking to myself. Don't listen. And off the foot. I got it. Okay, now for the big finale. Here it goes. I think they're going to like it. Ta-da. And one more 3 Frisbee trick. You've seen this before, haven't you? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still good.
But I like it.
I know, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. My other 3 Frisbee trick is what I call my balancing trick. And I don't balance, but I make the Frisbee balance. I also call this the 4th little pig's house. Get it? 4th little pig. Built their house out of Frisbees. Yeah, this is the 4th little pig's house on the ground. It's like a teepee with a smoke hole. But this one is the 4th little pig's tree house. So I'm like a tree, and then on my arm's a branch, and then the Frisbee house is balancing. All the little pigs eat dinner here once a week because this house has a rotating restaurant. Do you want to see it rotate?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, that wasn't cheesy, it wasn't lame, that was just a cheap trick, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember cheap trick?
What's that?
It's a band, ask your parents. Okay, restaurant trick, take 1. 4 little pigs sitting on top.
Whoa.
And the big bad wolf comes and huffs and puffs and blows the house down. Quick, you guys can blow the house down. Too late. Once you learn tricks with 3, you can try tricks with...
634.
There's a world famous shuffling trick. I'm just kidding. Yeah, sometimes you can take 4 and you can roll them across your arms like that, but I usually can't do it, so I'm not going to try. But you can take 4. I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Good work. You take 4 Frisbees and you can juggle them just for a little bit. Ta-da. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, to be brutally honest with you, to be bluntly honest with you, what else could I say?
Frisbee.
To be Frisbee-ly honest with you, I, the Frisbee guy, used to be afraid of these things. I know, it's true. Until I was 7, when somebody would throw a Frisbee, I'd see it coming and I would run away. Or at the last second, I would duck and it would go over my head. Then my mom's friend, she taught me how to do the alligator catch. And at school, I learned how to do the crab catch. Can you guys show me one time that you know the alligator? Like that, and the crab, like that. You can do it high or low or side to side. If you see people doing this, you know they're practicing their Frisbee catching.
No, they're missing.
It's also like a dance, yeah. If I throw passes to you guys and I tell you to do the alligator, it's like that. If I ask you to do the crab, it's like that. When I played ultimate Frisbee, I always caught the Frisbee with my thumbs on top, and then I was ready to throw. Because if I caught it with my thumbs underneath, then I'd have to turn the Frisbee over. And just doing that, I could bobble it and drop it. So it was always better to catch it like this, and then I'd be ready to throw, or go like that. Yeah, when you think about it, it really works. Catching a Frisbee like a basket or a football doesn't work very well. It can work, but it can also mess up really easy doing that. Frisbees fly in the air like what?
Saucers.
Pancakes?
Flying
Flying saucers. I was going to say airplanes. I held my arms out like this because airplanes have two wings. Frisbee is just like a wing. When the wings are straight, the plane flies straight through the air. I'll pick these up later. When the Frisbee is straight, the Frisbee flies straight through the air.
Oh, I thought you were going to make this.
When the wings are tilted up, the airplane goes up high. When the Frisbee is tilted up, the Frisbee goes up high.
Whoa!
That's it.
Oh.
When the wings are tilted down, the airplane goes down. When the Frisbee is tilted down, the Frisbee goes... Wasn't sure, right? When the wings are tilted to the side, the airplane curves in the air. If you tilt the Frisbee, you can throw it that way, but watch how it curves in the air and comes back towards the center. Come on, Frisbee, don't let me down. And if you tilt it in the other direction, you can throw it that way, but again, it will curve in the air and come back towards the center. When I play Frisbee golf at a park, I know there's a course in Kennett Square. I know there's a lot of them in Delaware. But when you play Frisbee at a golf at a course, there's trees in your way, so you have to curve the Frisbee around trees or obstacles. So just before I threw the Frisbee, I looked where I wanted it to land. And if that was the target, that blue basket there, that was pretty close. I'd be close for my next shot. Sometimes you'll see small airplanes where the wings are close together. They'll fly sideways or even upside down. You can take a Frisbee and turn it upside down and fly it upside down like that.
Whoa.
Or you can turn it upside down this way and fly it upside down like that.
Nope.
Impossible.
I know. Because of the shapes of Frisbees, they're like wings in the air, but on the ground they work like something else.
Weird.
Wheels on the bus.
Or
Up
Okay, cut. I hate that song.
Yeah, me too.
I know, right? They made me sing it every day in nursery school, and I'd come home and tell my mom I don't want to go to nursery tomorrow, and she'd say, "Why, Gary?" And I'd say, "Because they made me sing that dumb song again." I know what the wheels on the bus do. I don't have to sing it again. But Frisbees work like wings in the air. They work like wheels on the ground. Sometimes when you throw a Frisbee and you can only throw it like that far,
Whoa.
watch what happens when I roll the Frisbee. I throw it so that it will roll. It can go farther than my throw. A lot farther.
It's
So sometimes, sit Frisbee, good Frisbee. And when we take two of them and we roll them, we call this Frisbee tag. Let's see if it works.
It's working.
It's like
Are they
NASCAR.
going to tag each other? Nope, they ran out of juice. Or steam, or energy. You haven't run out of energy, though.
No, they really
No way.
died.
Good, I need somebody to help me out for just a couple minutes. Okay, what's your name? Justin, you see all those Frisbees? I made a mess. You get to pick them up. Justin, last chance.
Here's the Frisbee guy.
Chase? Okay. See all those Frisbees, Chase? Justin has to pick them up. No. You have to pick them up, Justin. If you could put them in that blue basket over there, and then I'm going to throw some more Frisbees at you. I mean to you. Do you want to take turns catching a little bit? No? Okay, you're good. Is there a girl who would like to do it? What's your name? Ashlyn, would you help Chase out a little bit and then stay back there? And like I said, I'm going to throw Frisbees at you, I mean to you. It's kind of the same thing. And stay by the basket there. The first Frisbee in my Frisbee collection is my big one.
Oh my God.
The big Frisbee is for great big tall people like basketball players to catch under their big legs and behind their big backs. Maybe I'll go to training camp, right? Help the basketball players. Roll across their long arms. The big Frisbee's a little bit heavy.
Rachel, come on.
Ow. You don't want to drop it on the front row. You can use it as a replacement garbage can lid. Drop them in there. Yeah, see that? It's like kind of. You can also sit on it and slide down a snowy hill. It really works. I've done it.
Yeah.
And it does fly well. Chase, do you want to catch the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, ready to do the alligator catch? Whatever you do, don't throw it back because there are innocent children here, right?
Hit me!
Here it comes.
I'm not innocent.
Now in case he's got to throw it back.
Awesome. Just put it down right beside because it doesn't fit. Great. Can you sit back behind the cone so that I don't step on you? Thank you, sir. After I show you the big Frisbee, I'm going to show you the little baby Frisbee. Here it is. You missed it. Yeah, a little magic. Not really magic. Sleight of hand. Something I pulled it out of my pocket when you weren't looking. Baby Frisbee is for little tiny babies to catch under their pudgy little legs and behind their baby back ribs. Get it? Yeah, and spin on their itsy bitsy finger and roll across their wee little arms. Babies don't do that. You know what babies do with a little tiny Frisbee? They put it in their mouth. They don't swallow it because it's too big.
Sister.
Okay, well, don't let her eat. Well, she'll probably chew it, right? But my favorite trick with the little Frisbee, watch closely. I missed. Don't watch too closely. To do that, you have to have strong, healthy lungs, which means never smoking and always doing sports in and out of camp and school. Baby Frisbee does fly well. Can you see it, Ashlyn?
Yeah.
Okay, watch it closely. Here it comes.
And I quit smoking with Chantix.
Oh, they're still looking for it. Ah, here it is. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was good. Watch what I did in slow motion. Watch what I did in slow motion. I went like this. And some of you went like this. And your counselor who was filming you went like this. And then she didn't know what happened. But the baby Frisbee is aerodynamic. It's a lot of fun, so you can throw it and try to throw a strike. That was a ball. It does fly pretty well. After I showed you the biggest one, it was like this big, right? And then I showed you the smallest one, it was like this big. We exaggerate. Now I'm going to show you the oldest Frisbee. The oldest Frisbee is actually a metal pie pan. Did you know?
Throw it!
Okay, I'm just going to show it. I'm not going to throw it, but I wanted you to know it. Today I'm a poet. That's all I got. 100 years ago in Connecticut, the real Mr. and Mrs. Frisbee baked pies, and young people like you and your counselors would take the empty pie pans and turn them over and play catch with them. Can you imagine catching a metal pie pan? Ow. Or rolling it across your arms? Ow. Or popping it in the air like this? Right. Ow, 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 ow. Hurts your fingers and your ears. Not a good idea. So when plastic was invented, this bendable, flexible stuff that we all know and love, I think I just broke my Frisbee. An inventor named Fred made a plastic pie pan the same size and the same shape, not to put in the oven, but to turn over and to play catch with, and you know what they called it? They called it a Frisbee after the Frisbee Pie Company. True story where the name of the game comes from. Nowadays we make Frisbees out of recycled plastic. That's what this one is made out of. Old plastic melted down, turned into something new. Since I just broke it, I'm going to put it back in the recycling box, and maybe they'll recycle it again and turn it into a Frisbee or a cup or something. I don't know what. Or, you know. Ready? Here it comes. Still flies. Nice grab. I'm going to go over here so I can show you some of my Frisbee collection. We're going to try to get through them really fast so that we can play some games and do some activities. Here's my, in my imagination, this smells like pizza. But not really, in my imagination. When I throw, you guys can say pizza delivery.
Pizza delivery!
It's a pizza pie!
Domino's.
Here's my Ghostbusters Frisbee. Any Ghostbusters?
GTA logo.
This is from the first movie back in the, I think the 80s. And this was the glow-in-the-dark Frisbee. So when I first got it, I would keep it on my wall. And then at night, I wouldn't be scared because it was glow-in-the-dark. It would be my nightlight. And it does fly. But now they say, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters!
That's right.
No.
Here's my Snoopy Frisbee. Do you all know Snoopy? Snoopy's making a comeback, and in my favorite episode, Snoopy throws a Frisbee to a little yellow bird, and the yellow bird starts dancing on it. Woodstock.
Woodchuck.
You were close. I mean, some people say Tweety, and some people say Big Bird. It's like, no.
No, Big Bird!
Big Bird's my favorite.
Here's my Frisbee that it's a little bit different. It looks like a stained glass window, or the sun. It sounds different. So you can play the drum. Yeah, you can play the drum. I still got some rhythm. Then you can play the Frisbee, and you can finish with a drum roll. Get it? Drum roll. Can you explain it to the kids later?
You're funny.
Who am I throwing this one to? All right, ready? Here it comes.
Mario. It's me.
Tricked you. I didn't think it was going to go so far. Here's my Indy 500 Frisbee. Do you know where it's from? Indianapolis, Indiana, where they drive around the track 500 times. Do you know why? I don't know. When I throw it, you guys can make the noise from the race cars. Ready? Very good. Here's my Elvis Frisbee. Any Elvis fans?
Tiny Elvis.
You know how to do an Elvis
Elvis
impersonation?
died.
You know how to do an Elvis impersonation? No. Thank you very much. That was good. I don't know how they know it, but they do.
Tiny Elvis.
Nice try. Here's my Star Wars Frisbee. Any Star Wars fans? Okay, when I throw this one, you guys can sing the music to Star Wars. Ready? Oh, she almost
You're
got it.
shot down. Nobody cared.
Here's my Frisbee that is two colors. You can hold it on the purple side and flip it up and try to catch it on the white side. And you can hold it on white and flip it up and try to catch it on the purple side.
It looks like a Pokeball.
It does look like a Pokeball. You know, I
It's
said
a
that
mess.
yesterday at my show, and some little wise guy camper said, no, it doesn't. It's the wrong color. And I said,
It's a Master Ball.
okay, cool.
A Master Pokeball.
Master is purple.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that. So now I'm going to say it's a Master Pokeball. Then I won't get corrected. When it flies, it looks like it changes colors. There's strobes. Isn't that cool? Here's my butterfly Frisbee. Do you know butterflies?
No.
Yeah,
You've never seen one before. They look like this. They're first they're caterpillars, and then they make a cocoon. You didn't know that?
and then you throw it. Right?
Right. And I always say that this one floats like a butterfly. Things like a bee. You'll have to explain that to everybody else.
Excuse me, where did you get all that?
I buy them at
Bought
toy
them on
stores.
eBay.
I'm always looking for them. Oh, but this one I got at a fair because Sprint was there, and I said, "Can I have one of those for my shows?" And I do have Sprint, but I'm not sponsored by
It's
Sprint
slow, right?
unless they change that. Yeah. So this is a big a Frisbee with a big hole in the middle. You can catch it on your arm, or you can catch it on your foot. You can also use it to what we call brushing with our hands or our feet, but it's a good skill to learn. And they do fly pretty well, so you can try to catch it on your arm. Very nice. And then this one's a little bit smaller.
It's a donut. It's a donut.
Can you see the letters?
Why is it bent?
It says, you know what? It's bent because it's old. It got left in the car and it warped, and then it never went back to shape. But 30 years ago, when you bought a pack of Lifesavers, you would get a little coupon to send $2 for shipping and handling, and you would get a Lifesaver Frisbee. I got this Frisbee, and I went, oh, amazing. So I started licking it. And my mom said, what are you doing? I said, well, it's a Lifesaver Frisbee. And she said, it's not real Lifesavers. I said, oh. Candy with the hole in the middle made the very first Frisbee with the hole in the middle. It flies like a cherry Lifesaver. I know. Here's a couple others that I want to show and tell really fast. My American flag Frisbee.
Marco.
Stars and the stripes. You can hold it on the stripes and flip it up and try to catch it on the stars. And it looks good when it flies because of the colors. Nice try. Two hands are better than one. Here's my Peter Parker Frisbee. Do you know Peter Parker? Spider-Man, that's right. If you ever see somebody throwing a Frisbee like this, and it goes into the ground, right? That's Spider-Man. Can't throw very well. Yeah, nice catch. Here's my Frisbee that I made. Yeah, I call it my modified Frisbee because, you know, I just put the holes in and stuck the feathers in. I did this because a kindergarten student once said, Mister, I think your Frisbees would fly better if they had wings. So when my Frisbee spins, it looks like two chickens chasing each other. When it rolls across your arms, it kind of tickles your nose. And it does fly well with the chicken feathers. Nice grab.
I think that would have made it too.
Here's a Frisbee that I also made or modified.
Yo-yo.
It's like a yo-yo, but we don't call it a yo-yo, we call it a throw-yo. And a throw-yo is kind of fun because you can scare people with it. Ow. You can also like throw it and it'll come right back into your hand. I had to move my hand a little bit. You can try to catch it by the string or by the Frisbee, Ashley. Or not. Here's another one that I made. I mean modified. It's a frisbee with a tight tail.
That doesn't fly, I don't think.
Upside down, it looks like DNA. Or long, colorful hair.
Oh my God.
Or an animal that lives in the ocean that I hope you never meet. You can wave it around your head and go, ole. And then get ready to throw it.
Rip it.
This is my bottle cap frisbee. Some of you counselors know what bottle caps look like and how they're fun to throw or fly around. This is a big bottle cap. Can you imagine the size of the bottle? Now imagine the size of the straw. Now imagine the size of the person who would use that straw with this bottle cap with this bottle. Ho, ho, ho. Nice. Can you put them all in there except for the big one? Thanks. Here's my frisbee that I fixed.
That's radical.
Yeah, it broke, and so I went on YouTube and I looked up how to fix a broken frisbee, and it said duct tape. So I thought it would be better if I had two different colors. So now I can play the same game where I try to catch it on the blue, and then I can try to catch it on the blue, and I try to catch it on the white. And it still flies, even though it's broken. Nice grab. Here's my pet turtle. I call it roadkill because it's so flat it can do the worm. And it can fly like a turtle. Right. Here's my steering wheel frisbee. When I saw this one, I didn't think it would fly very well, but I knew that it could spin like a top. Yeah. But like I said, frisbees are like airplane wings, right? And if I looked out and I saw holes in the wings, I'd try to get off that plane. But maybe someday, because watch, this one really does fly. Maybe someday they'll design wings with holes. I don't know. Here's my frisbee that I made. I call it the Weeble Wobble frisbee. Be careful. Nice cat. Here's my frisbee that's not a circle. Do you know what shape it is? Hexagon. It's not a square. Oh my gosh. He's just kidding.
It's summer.
When it spins, it looks like a circle. When it rolls across your arms, it feels not like a circle. When it flies like a hexagon. That was a strike. And last one's to show you, here's my frisbee of many colors. It also looks like a lollipop if I had a stick. Or I could blow it up like a beach ball. Or it's like a game at Atlantic City. I'll hold it on yellow and flip it up and try to catch it on yellow again. Ready? Place your bets. Place your bets. Yellow. See? House wins. It must be fixed. Red. Anybody pick red? All right,
I picked
win.
red. I picked
Black.
It flies all right. There's a strike.
Yeah.
Here's my chocolate frisbee. If you go to Hershey Park like I did when I was 10 years old, I spent all of my allowance, like all $2, and I bought a chocolate frisbee. And we were in the car driving back home to Toronto, and I showed my little sister, who's 4 years younger than me. We were sitting in the back seat. I think we had our seatbelts on. Back then we didn't always have our, yeah. It was a long time ago. I had my seatbelt on, yeah. I showed my little sister, look, I have a chocolate frisbee, and she said, could I have a bite? I said, sure, you can have the first bite. And I watched her, her eyes got bigger, her mouth got bigger, and she bit. Oh. She broke it up. And she said, Gary, I don't think it's real chocolate. And I said, haha, I never said it was. And then she cried, and Dad had to stop the car, and I had to explain what happened, and I got in trouble, but it was worth it. This frisbee's made to fly in the sky. It doesn't melt in your hands or your mouth. Whose turn is it to catch? Okay, good. Here it comes. Don't eat it. Good job.
You put that
Here's a frisbee that's, I'm going to show it, I'm going to tell it, and I'm going to fly it. This frisbee's made for people who are blind or visually impaired, which means they can't see the frisbee. But there are 3 holes cut in the side, and when it spins and moves forward, the air blows over the hole, so you can actually hear it coming. So Ashlyn, is it your turn to catch? Ashlyn, is your mom or dad a lawyer? Okay, good. Close your eyes, Ashlyn, and put your hands right where you want me to throw the frisbee. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Right there? Okay, and you'll hear it coming, okay? Okay, here it comes. Here it comes.
Shut your eyes.
Did you hear it? I didn't really want her to close her eyes. It was just, you know. And here's a Frisbee. You can do the crab catch, but you should never ever do the alligator. Wow. You can do the Statue of Liberty catch. Or you can spin it on a flat surface like your hand and then do some easy tricks with it. Not quite so easy as I thought. You can spin it on your hand and jump it from back and forth. You can also use it as a little tiny umbrella if you're shrinking. Or a really big thumbtack if you've got a really big thumb. Or you can put an ice cream cone in there and eat your ice cream, and then it won't drip on your hands. But when you throw it to somebody and they catch it, it'll hit them in the face. I want to make that video. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. Ready? Nice grab. Awesome. This is the last one I'm going to show you, just to stay at the bottom of the pile. It's from Ked's running shoes. 100 years ago when you bought a pair of Ked's running shoes, well, maybe 30 years ago, you would get a free flying saucer Frisbee. Frisbees and flying saucers were always associated together, but it's just a little tiny one. Awesome. Hey, can you guys carry all those Frisbees back here? That would be great. Let's give them a quick round of applause. So, before we play some games and do some activities, I wanted to show you some of the harder tricks that I do in a competition. Do you want to see 5 moves or 3?
1.
Right? Awesome. And you just put them right there. I turned the music off. Should I turn something back on?
Yeah, ultimate.
Okay, I'll look for something else. I understand that you guys don't really like what I do. I'll try something else here.
Put on Hobo Joe.
How about this one?
You get a Sharpie marker and then
All right, come on, music. Don't let me down.
Put on ultimate.
All right, so what I'm going to do is show you some of my harder tricks. In freestyle Frisbee, we don't just flip it under our legs and catch it under our other leg. Sometimes we get it spinning on our finger. This is called a nail delay. What I'm doing is delaying catching it, so therefore it's a nail delay. And we do spin it on our fingernail. That way there's very little friction. I always have to move my hand around to keep it balanced, but that's how we set up to do tricks. So here's some of the different tricks that we can do, like under the leg passes and kicks and setting up and doing a roll. Or you can jump over it like this. Or you can go around your back like this and set up a trick catch. Or you can pass it around like this, and roll it across your arms. Or you can pass it under your leg, a little kick, and set up, whoops, like that. So that's what freestyle Frisbee looks like. Now you've seen a little bit of advanced stuff. Just wanted to show you what that looks like. The music never came on. So we have time now to do some games and activities, which means it's your turn. Okay. I'm going to pick up these cones. We're going to have 6 lines, even lines with the counselors in the lines. That would be awesome. And I think we'll just line up towards about halfway on that side, and we'll be facing this way. So I'll put down the cones. Thank you. And then we can. So if you guys